She's like top 5 annoying anime character. Like, I cannot stand this freaking girl. Like,
What you want, yeah. We just chillin' by the wild wise. Lemonade with the large fries. Up twice for the calm high. Hey, what you want, yeah. Big checks make the bank bounce. Old school candy paint down. Bad chicks, they from down south. Hey, what you want, yeah.
hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, BQ Quick Review. I'm your host, BQ. And today we are going to be doing a subscriber request. I see a lot of you like this, and this was recommended by Brazi Mazaregos. Thank you for your recommendation. And BQ Quick Reviews, we get right to it. And yes, Seven Deadly Sins is about a princess who is looking for a group of knights called the Seven Deadly Sins to help stop a corrupt group of knights trying to overthrow the kingdom, and they're trying to help restore it back to its normal glory and its normal ways of living, because there's a lot of people trying to take advantage of the kingdom and trying to overthrow it and do their own things with it. So yes, I actually watched this one a while ago. I watched like the first episode and I was like, nah, I'm not really feeling this one. So actually you guys actually brought me back to it, so I actually powered through it, and that was the problem. I'm gonna get right into the bad and then we'll go into the good. Yeah, the problem with it was, like, I didn't really like the start of it too much. Like, I watched the first episode a while ago and I didn't really like it. It was just like a generic anime and had its generic anime tropes. But this, you gotta remember, this is a guy who's watched so many animes. It's just like, I've already seen this already. So maybe to the new viewer of anime, this would be appealing. But to somebody who's watched so much anime, it wouldn't be so appealing. It doesn't get I haven't gotten invested in it until episode 3, which isn't really bad because there's some animes that take a couple episodes to really get into. So I thought this was okay, but still with a lot of people, having like short attention spans, and it's either episode 1 that's going to get you into it or not, which actually fell into my category. I watched the first episode and it was just like, no. So I think if you're gonna watch this, try to stick with it to like at least episode 3, and then if you don't like it by then it's probably not for you. And then, yeah, there's one other annoying thing I had to address that was really bad, and that was with one character, Elizabeth.
Sir Meliodas! 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 Sir Meliodas!
She's like top 5 annoying anime character. Like, I cannot stand this freaking girl. Like, oh my gosh, it's just like every second, Sir Meliodas, Sir Meliodas, Sir Meliodas, Sir Meliodas, Sir Meliodas, shut up. Like, I hate, like, she was so annoying. Like, you guys complain about Sakura from Naruto. No, she's freaking annoying. I could not stand her. And then another thing, even with her too, Elizabeth, it was like a lot of fan service, but she wasn't the only character with a lot of fan service. And if you guys don't know what fan service is, I'll put a little thing on the screen for it to help you guys realize what that is. But it's basically like when characters they over sexualize characters when it's unnecessary. Like they'll be bending over and stuff when very sexualized in unnecessary way, or their clothes will randomly rip or something just to show cleavage or butt shots and stuff like that. I'm not really into that, but I'm maybe guys. I know there's people that are, but like I don't like fan service, especially when it's unnecessary, you know. And yeah, season three had a few problems too. Season 3 essentially turns into Dragon Ball Z.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000! What, 9,000?
You know, with the introduction of like power levels and stuff and everything, and then the main character, Meliodas, basically is the carbon copy of like Goku and stuff, and everybody else kind of goes to the back burner and is kind of useless and against the oncoming threats, which are the Ten Commandments in this third season. And I know there's 4 seasons, but season 2, I believe, only has 4 episodes. I don't really count that as a season, in my opinion. In my opinion, there's 3 seasons of Seven Deadly Sins. And yeah, just to go over that like part with it turned into DBZ and everything, a lot of characters get put to the back burner, like for example, like Gil Thunder. In season 1, I thought he was a really good like antagonist or whatever, although he wasn't meant to be the main antagonist, but I thought he was really good, and he's a really intimidating presence on screen every time he was on screen. And you know, I really liked his character being a villain, if you will say. And yeah, he was really good in that role. And then when it comes on to the later seasons, he just kind of gets put to the back burner. He's kind of a joke, in my opinion. I really didn't like that they did that. And then the animation in season 3 and 2, there's a couple inconsistencies where the animation quality goes down, and I see a lot of people had a big problem with that. It didn't bother me too much, and as far as like anime, it doesn't bother me too much in general, because you know, animation companies have a certain budget and they can only do so much with that budget. So long as it runs fine and it still tells the story and it's not all throughout the story, I can deal with it. But there are little hits and bits here and there, you know, but it didn't bother me too much. And there is a big problem that I'm not going to address. I'm going to address in my spoilers. So if you want to see what that big problem is, come to my spoiler section, but watch the anime first, and so we can talk all about it. But yeah, it was a really big problem that I didn't like, and they really throughout this series, it's really apparent that they okay, let me just get to the good. Okay, yeah, I like this anime for like its variety of characters. I think that's what makes it stand out so much. It has such an array of characters that anybody could be drawn to, you know, and like they do have good character developments, especially the Seven Deadly Sins. They have good character development for each of them. At one point, telling their backstory or whatnot, and I like that. I like that they, you know, put detail into these other characters instead of focusing mainly on the main character, Meliodas. So yeah, I like that. And even I had a few favorites in here that I really like. Like I like Vaughn. I noticed that his name is spelled V-A-N. I thought it was Vaughn, like V-O-N. So like I didn't know it was a Vaughn, whatever, I guess, but it's Vaughn. So that's a correction that I actually learned along the way. And then you got later in the seasons, Escanor. This guy Escanor is like top 5 shit talkers in anime. This guy talks so much trash, but I like it. And it's like like every time this guy's on screen, he like makes a good entrance and makes a good episode. Some of my favorite episodes are with this guy coming on screen, and he's definitely one of my favorite characters in this, him and Vaughn. And then you got a lot of good fight scenes. This anime has a lot of good fight scenes, and I think that's what drawn me in. Episode 3 and on, when you get introduced to certain powers and everything and stuff like that, there's a lot of good fight scenes in this, and yeah. Also, there's a lot of love interest and love scenes in this. We have a dynamic between certain characters and stuff. As a person who doesn't like a lot of lovey-dovey stuff, I thought that it was very good, because the problem with a lot of animes, they have a lot of love interests and stuff, but they never follow through with it. Either the anime characters acting very irregular and not telling their feelings to the other character, or they never go through with it. But this anime does have a little bit of that, but they do follow through with it at the end. And I do like that they follow through with it. And you know, I actually like a lot of the love interests that they have in here. Some of my favorite was the love interest behind Diane and King, you know, and I thought it was going to follow through with that same anime trip where it was like everything would like avoid them, you know, talking to each other, expressing their feelings with each other, but they actually, it doesn't go that way. So yeah, I know I talked a lot of bad about this, but I did enjoy watching it overall, and it was just like it had a lot of anime tropes that I didn't like as somebody who watched a lot of animes, and that's what brought it down a few levels for me. So I'm going to give this one, I'm going to give this one a 3.5 out of 5. And yeah, the reason I did this is because I don't think this anime is average, but I don't think this anime is like good or great or anything like that. It's like, it's above average, you know. Maybe for the average viewer who probably doesn't watch anime, or they would probably like it or they would probably hate it. It's one or the other. So that's what I got from this one. It was still a good watch for me. For long-time anime viewers, maybe you find some enjoyment out of it, but you're gonna see a lot of the same tropes. New people drawn to this thing. I think you're gonna find a lot of enjoyment out of this, especially if you have like something with romance and stuff in it. It does have a little bit of that mixed with some action. So that is my quick review. Come join me in the spoiler section. All right, and make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys watch the anime first. Don't be coming in my spoiler section and you haven't even watched it first. All right. Okay, we're back to the spoiler section, and yes. Let's get right to it, because I know you guys are wondering, what was that thing that I really didn't like that they kept doing throughout the anime? This anime has a really big problem with keeping people dead. Everybody comes back to life. Like, even in the first season, when you had the main protagonist, what's this guy name? You know, the all these knights and stuff, they always, like, they die, and then they come back later in the season, and people that were dead even before the show even started ended up coming back, and no one really stays dead besides the characters you don't really give a shit about. So I don't like that, because it really just makes me look at the anime, and there's certain parts where certain people die or this and that, and it's just like, whatever. It cheapens people's deaths. That's the problem when you keep killing people and then you bring them back. It cheapens their death, you know, because it's like a lot of anime where people die and they don't come back. It makes it more significant and stuff. I know that can be a lot of people's favorite character, or even like me, as when I write my stories, I feel very connected to my characters and stuff like that. So I don't want to kill them off. So I understand why they want to bring them back and keep them and stuff. Maybe you might have a personal connection with them or whatever, but you have to kind of separate that connection when you're making stories, because it really doesn't do good for the story overall. Because when people die or certain things happen, it's just like, yeah, he's gonna come back. Even in the last season, when Meliodas died by the 10 Commandments, it's just like, and he comes back. It's like, okay, so now we know this guy can't die. So there's nothing in when he's in any scene. There's nothing that's really giving me any sense of danger or any sense of, okay, this is crazy, this guy might die or this guy might lose. With the other characters, like, yo, they might die, like, they gotta really, you know, I'm worried about them. I'm not worried about him per se, because we know he's gonna come back to life, and that's essentially why I call this DBZ, because it's just like Goku is just gonna wish him back with the Dragon Balls. Who cares, you know? So it really cheapens their deaths and stuff, and I really didn't like that, you know. I really didn't like that. And then with the main characters, like with Meliodas' brothers, whatever, like, they were very lackluster villains. They really hyped these guys up, and they didn't perform on screen. Like, they were very cheap and everything, and they didn't live up to the high expectations that, you know, season 3 was putting them up to be. You know, I was not impressed by these villains at all. There was a few that I liked, and then they kind of threw them to the back burner too. One of the first commandments that they fought, you know, forgot this guy's name, but I'm gonna put his name and face on screen. But he like just comes in and wrecks the Meliodas and all the 7 deadly sins, and I'm just like, what? Like, yeah, this guy, yeah, these commandments are no joke, and it just seems like there's no chance they have against them, and then they just kind of go into the fake hyperbolical chamber and train for a little bit, and then now they're all the strongest, these guys and stuff. It was really cheap and stuff, and I didn't like it. I didn't like that thing about it. But yeah, that was my biggest gripes about it. I like some of the aspects of this show with the love interest and stuff like that, but it was a lot of cheap, normal anime stuff that brought it down. And but I did have some enjoyment of it, and I know that there's another season coming out. So that, whether based on that last season, I don't know if it's going to continue after that or not, but based on this next season, the rating might go up, or the rating might go even lower. So just have to stay tuned and see my next review for that season and going on. And thank you guys for watching my review and my spoiler section review, and thank you guys for watching the channel. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next review.
Mediocre, everybody wanna be a rapper. You ain't real, but you play a role. Most of y'all pretty decent actors. I know real goons and they on the block. Hit it stained like they bleaching fabric. I'm a nice guy, but got a dark side. We could